Do not worry that your life is turning upside down. How do you know that the side you are used to is better than the one to come? That one's from Rumi. So my life has been kind of turned upside down lately. Quite literally when I fell and hurt my knee. So I've decided to chronicle the upside down turning of it. And I wanted to do it through a vlog because my friend Lexa, who you can find at Literate Lex, she has her own channel on YouTube, and I'll put the link down in the bar thingy on YouTube. But she vlogs a lot, and she once told me that vlogging is a way for you to get used to talking to people about things that matter to you and things in your life. And it's really good practice for public speaking because you're not exactly talking to a crowd per se, but you're talking to the camera, and then the crowd is going to watch that camera. I guess there's kind of like a separation, but it's also kind of cool because you have to get comfortable speaking candidly and honestly and, without a script about things that are personal. And I think that's kind of cool. So this is me vlogging about things in my life. And in this one, I want to talk a little bit more about what happened to my knee, and maybe that'll help you to understand my recovery as this goes on. So the medial patellofemoral ligament is the MPFL, and medial means it's on the inside part of your knee. You hear about the ACL and the MCL, which help to stabilize your knee, but the MPFL actually holds your knee in place. And so what happened for me was I was standing up giving a speech to a class at my former high school, and the next thing I knew I was on the ground because, as the MRI results later showed, I had completely torn through the MPFL, which dislocated my kneecap and pulled off a part of my patella, also known as the kneecap, which explained all the pain I was feeling. So I couldn't really move my leg at all because there was no kneecap to help stabilize it. I couldn't put any weight on it. It was really painful. And luckily, I was injured on Tuesday, and they were able to get me in that following Monday for surgery, which they go in and they kind of reconstruct the ligament. So for me, they went in and there was a really large amount of blood around my knee, which kind of confirmed that it was a violent tear, which is really weird because usually that happens when you're in a car accident or hit on the football field, and I was just standing. So yeah, probably a result of this genetic thing called Ehlers-Danlos, which comes in a lot of different variations, and they think I have a less severe form where your tissues and your joints and all that just are really loose and hypermobile and don't always do their job properly, so they pop out of place and sublux, which is almost like dislocating but not quite, and eventually they dislocate sometimes. And so that kind of explains why something like that could happen when I was just standing. I've had a lot of knee problems and shoulder problems and other joint problems in the past, so I was kind of used to it, and this was different. It was a really hard experience because I was always used to being able to pull through things and work through it and deal with the pain. I never had it be so bad that I couldn't actually use it. So anyways, they go in and they take out the chip part of my kneecap, and since my tissue is so loose, they couldn't use that to reconstruct my ligament. So instead, they took a hamstring from a cadaver and put that in my leg as the ligament instead, which is kind of really cool, but also kind of weird, somebody else's hamstring is in my leg. That'll make a really good fun fact when I get to college next year. Hey, tell me 3 truths about yourself. Let's see. I have eaten snails. I have once met John Green. And, I have somebody else's hamstring in my leg. I think that'll make me a lot of friends in college. So the surgery went really well, and it was unsurprisingly painful to recover the next few days, but it was an outpatient surgery, so I got to go home and come back to the couch where I have been for a long time, and you can tell because everything that I need is piled on the couch next to me because I can't get up and reach it by myself. Yeah. Anyways, I thought I would show you guys part of my knee, and you can understand how I work around this for now. So I have currently a brace on my knee, and it locks my leg out in place. At least it did for the first few weeks. So this black part is the brace, and it buckles my leg in, so I really can't do a whole lot with it. The blue thing down here is an ice pack, which just wraps around my leg and is not plugged in right now, and it helps to compress and ice my leg to reduce swelling, and also helps reduce a lot of pain, which is super nice. And then there's like an ace bandage down there somewhere. Yes. Anyways, now we've got the brace at a 40-degree angle, so I can bend my knee a little bit, and when I walk, it bends with me. I don't walk a whole lot because it hurts to do that. Since I can't really walk a lot, I mostly use crutches to get around, and usually people put like towels over their crutches to help them like crutch around, but I didn't want to have to try to wrap them with duct tape, so I took a cue from some of my good friends, and I put pillow pets on my crutches and gave them names because I'm gonna be hanging out with them for a while. So this one is a cow, and this is Juniper, which is one of my crutches, and the other is a zebra, and his name is Zoe, in honor of Enzo from The Art of Racing in the Rain. It's kind of ironic if you've read the book. If you haven't read the book, go read it because it's really, really good, and it'll probably make you cry, but also like change your whole view on life, so that's always a good time. So movement is kind of limited for now. I can bend my knee to 45 degrees in a brace, and we got it to 31 degrees in physical therapy, which is not a lot because we're trying to get it to 60 degrees, and that's only halfway. The other thing about PT that is frustrating is when you have conversations like this with your physical therapist, like, okay, we're going to bend your knee now, and it's going to hurt. Okay, like, let's do it. And then you bend their knee, and they're like, well, now we're going to extend the knee, and it's also going to hurt to extend it back out. And you're just like, okay. I try to be a good patient in physical therapy because I have a really high pain tolerance, and I never want to like be that patient that complains and like moans and whines and like doesn't do stuff. But man, like for somebody that's used to doing the amount of exercise that I do, I'm used to running half marathons and swimming for like 2 hours straight and running like 7 miles every other day for fun. So having it be a workout now just to bend my leg and to like crutch down the hallway to use the bathroom, it's kind of different. Now you've seen a little bit of how I'm spending the beginning of this odyssey. But just because things have flipped upside down doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to be bad. Maybe it's time to have a new perspective, and maybe this side is the side that I need to be on. I don't know. We'll see where this side takes me. And if it has to flip a few more times, I guess I'll just be along for the ride. Until next time.